Too high.
Oh,
Too high.
they've run out of fuel. Good morning, everybody. You join me on the tarmac at Leeds Airport in England, and today we're flying a real Jet 2 route out to Newark Airport in New York City, State, one of the two. This is the Zibo 737-800, and we are flying as part of the Simbit World A Pilot's Life career mode. So I'm hoping this flight and the return journey will promote me to Senior First Officer. Well, let's find out. Okay, inside the flight deck, first things first, start the load and the clean of the airport so everybody can board. Okay, batteries. And let's connect the GPU, so we'll ask ground for that. Ground power on. Okay, just a bit of simulator stuff. Let's set our fuel and weight. So we've set fuel to 20 tons. We want a zero fuel weight of 58 tons. A payload of 17 gets us close to our desired zero fuel weight. So the plane's all loaded. I find this quite an awkward way to load the payload and the weight. Like, you can't just enter your zero fuel weight. Maybe they've changed it since this version. I don't know. Okay, everybody's all aboard. Start our flight leg. And we'll play a little welcome speech for the passengers.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, welcome aboard our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here to get you on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your company and business. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
Start this APU. Okay, APU gen goes on. APU bleeds. And we'll turn the ground power off. Also disconnect that GPU. Fuel pumps can go on. Get these hydraulic pumps on. This one over here. Alright, it's time to load the route. We are going from EGMM to KWR. Flight number today, LS87. Let's look at our departures from Leeds. Okay, Nelson 3 Whiskey, runway 32, no transition, through activate exec. Okay, lovely, it takes us out to Nelsa, go direct Croft, then to Bagso, Hannah. Lovely, and arrivals. Looks like an RNAV onto 29, Flossie's 3 via Hannah. Over 2 in NITREF, cruising at flight level 320. Winds at top of climb are 310.061. Exit deviation 2. Reserves, I don't really think we have any, and a cost index of 5. Execute that. Okay, let's grab the air temperature. Flaps 5. Grab the CG, V1, VR, V2. Cool. Alright, there's our ground trucks disconnecting, and we are ready to push back and get on our way. It's going to be a long flight today.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Alright, here's our pushback truck, and he'll get us out to the runway.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, let's get engine 2 over to ground and introduce fuel. And a good start on number 2. Get 1 over to ground. And fuel. Alright, that looks like a good start on both
Operation
engines to me.
complete. Set parking brake.
So our pushback is complete. Okay, APU bleed off. Packs left and right 2 auto. APU off. Your damper on. Emergency exit lights. Okay, let's get some lights on.
Flight attendant spare for takeoff, please.
Get rid of that, we're all good. Flight director 1. Flight director 2. Takeoff trim today, 6.3. That's about right. Set that altimeter. Set this to TAR rate. Winds today of, we'll say 150. Climb altitude today, 32,000, so we'll set that in pressurization. Last 2 switches up here. Set the speed to V2. Auto brake, rejected takeoff. Cruising now, 32,000. LNAV, VNAV, flaps, 5. Auto throttles armed. We're ready to go, guys. As I say every time I fly the 737, the startup process is much longer and harder to remember than the Airbus. But once you're in the air, you do a lot less. The flight today is actually at the very limit of the aircraft range, but we'll be just fine.
Approaching 3, 2.
Okay, and here we go.
V1
1,000 feet
Oh,
remaining.
We are heavy today.
Positive rate. $400.
Alrighty, and engage for autopilot. Get the auto brake over to max.
1,000.
Spoilers armed. Flaps up. And we are airborne, guys, on our way out of Leeds, Bradford, all the way to New York in the Zibo 737. Okay, looking at our progress page, should arrive with plenty of fuel. Top of climb is in about 18 minutes or so, and we'll be there in about 6 hours. Altimeter standard, and I'll see you guys around top of climb. And there we are. So because we're so heavy, we've had to reduce our cruise altitude to 26,000. That's fine, we're happy up here. So what we need to do is grab our final altitude, which is 2,500. And there we are. So at Newark we should have just over a ton of fuel, which is not a lot, but it will be enough. Top of descent is in about 5 hours or so. Alrighty, we're all good. I'll see you guys at top of descent. Enjoy the views. Alrighty guys, a quick progress check halfway. Center tanks are empty, so we'll switch those off. Okay, we've only got 4 tons of fuel left, but I think we'll be just fine. So looking at our current fuel, I used the numbers from SimBrief. I think I made the aircraft too heavy. We couldn't climb high enough. We're too heavy. We're not going to make it to Newark, so we have to divert. We're going to divert to CYJT, which is one of the first airports on the Canadian mainland. And we're going to go for an RNAV on 220. So we're now going direct to our entry point. The approach to CYJT. That is about 500 miles away. So just to stop the plane descending, put it in VNAV altitude mode at 24,000. And then once the descent path starts to move in PFD, I'll bring it down to the final height, about 500 miles away, about an hour or so. Alright then, about 600 kilos of fuel left. And we are, if we were to go direct to the runway itself, 167 miles away. I think whatever we do at this point, it's probably wise to start descent to 2,000 feet. And we're going to do this as an open descent as well. Because given that the airport is about half an hour away, I'm not sure we have half an hour of flight time left. I think we may actually be able to get into Gander, which is even closer. And they also have an NS, which is good. So let's go straight there. It's about 40 odd miles away. Hey, this is looking promising. We're going to make it to the Diver airport here, guys. terrain radar on, just so we won't get ourselves into any trouble. Alright, so land. Still got half a ton of fuel we'll make.
2,500.
We've also entered the diver into Civic World, so we'll at least get the experience points from the flight. Okay, localizer established, go, approach. Let's look at our perf page. 138 knots, flaps 40. Oh, and we've got some fog as well. Okay, I'm going to slow down myself here. Some spoilers down. We're also down to our last 20 kilos of fuel. Happy days.
1,000.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Approaching 1-3. Too high.
Oh,
Too high.
Run out of fuel. Long landing, 6,000 feet remaining.
40, 30, 20,
5,000 remaining.
Alrighty.
$80 knots.
Did that just happen? Oh my god. So we run out of fuel. We ran out of fuel just like as we were at what, 200 feet? Like really on short final there. We had one engine. Things started shutting down. I think we had a crosswind as well. We somehow down with a normal hard landing close to the centre line. At Gander, our diversion airport. Let's see some replays, guys, while I call the truck to tow us to the terminal. But there we go. It's reasonable. Leaning to one side. That's I think a reasonable landing considering the circumstances there. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Until next time, remember, you can always go around unless you've run out of fuel. Take care.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.